SaaSCntr.
Welcome to SaaSCntr. I'm your host, Rob Ott. Got a packed show, including two guests. That's right. We're expanding. People finally want to be on here. Someone getting hired. Wait, scratch that. More layoffs. Damn. A CEO apologizing for 20 years of attribution BS. And as always, your favorite, some insanely funny commercials. And of course, we start with AI. We're going to start there right now. An AI-themed Mount Rushmore. Yep, where we crown the top 4 AI stories of the week that proves nobody knows what they're doing, but everybody's doing it anyway. Number 4, McKinsey drops their State of AI 2025 report, and HubSpot CTO Dharmesh Shah, oh boy, breaks it down on LinkedIn. The takeaway? Most companies are AI curious, not AI capable. Translated to everybody's talking about AI. Some are using AI, but nobody's really using it effectively just yet. McKinsey found that high performers think beyond cost cutting, they're experimenting. Meanwhile, everyone else is treating AI like unpaid interns, asking it to do grunt work, getting disappointed when it can't, and blaming the intern instead of the assignment. Dharmesh's take? We're not ready to standardize. Yet. Soon. Which means your 2026 AI strategy probably needs to be thrown out. Premature. Number 3, Anthropic reveals, this is not a joke, that Claude got jailbroken for cyber espionage. Threat actors bypassed guardrails and weaponized Claude to participate in an actual attack. How the hell did they do that? Well, they convinced it was an employee of a legitimate cybersecurity firm, broke down tasks into small chunks to avoid giving the full context of their malicious intent. It is designed to not be able to be manipulated after all, and harvested credentials by testing security vulnerabilities in the target org systems. So the AI we're trusting to write emails and summarize meetings can also be convinced to commit crimes. Cool. I think they may have done the Louvre. They found that guy. It was an inside job. I told you. Well, if bad actors can jailbreak Claude, they can jailbreak your agent too. Hope your IT team is ready. Number 2, Jason Lemkin's 6-month AI SDR experiment posted November 16th. The results are in. He dropped some truth bombs. AI SDRs brought in $1 million in 90 days. 6 months is 180. But they scale what's already working, not fix what's broken. No shit. They need massive human oversight. No shit. And budget, like 15 to 20 hours per week. There was 2 of them, and 50 to 100K per platform. Specialization beats all-in-one tools. Oh, and they can sell directly, which nobody expected. Lemkin's budget breakdown, you're spending more time managing AI than you think, and more money. This isn't set it and forget it. It's set it and babysit it. AI SDRs are augmentation, not automation. You know, for 20 hours and roughly 75K, you could just hire a never mind. Bleep that out. Number 1. Jeff Bezos is back, baby. Emma Thorne from LinkedIn News reports that Bezos just stepped into his first operational role since Amazon at a stealth AI startup called Project Prometheus. Prometheus and Bob was a great show back in the day. The richest man who ever online shopped is now building AI. Not investing, not advising, building. What's Prometheus? Nobody knows. When does it launch? Nobody knows that either. Will it change everything? Probably. Should we be excited or terrified? Yes. 4 stories, 1 theme. AI is happening whether you're ready or not. Spoiler, you're not.
SaaSCntr.
Well, after all that about AI, let's talk about a human who's actually solving problems with the people's elbow and body slams. James Ricks, friend of the program, is officially the revenue wrangler, badass name, who just kicked off his world tour of SaaS kicking in the Netherlands. Ladies and gentlemen, while your AI agents are trying to automate your job, James Ricks is trying to kick their ass.
Good morning, everyone. Or should I say, way more fun, because today I'm in the Netherlands and I heard you guys say, the only thing there is more of in the Netherlands than dikes and bikes is inefficient processes. So James Ricks, the Revenue Wrangler, SaaS Systemizer, Process Punisher, showed up last night. Epic battle took place in the rings, and we defeated inefficient processes once and for all.
James has about had it, candidly, with broken attribution models, misaligned SLAs, and dashboard theater, and said, I can take all you sons of benchmarks, something funny. So he trained. We had that on a couple of weeks ago. Now, after 2 weeks of jumping on a trampoline, doing push-ups, and running in place, he did more than that. He is in physical shape to demolish inefficient processes in the ring. I'm talking pinning tech debt, body slamming scope creep, choking out your 7-layer approval workflow. Yeah, take a look here.
Back in the arena, and the Revenue Wrangler has his sights locked.
Inefficient process is running on fumes. He doesn't even see him coming. Ricks hooks the arms, hoists him up, profit drop.
He drilled him.
He's not around. This is what happens when RevOps finally snaps. You spend years fixing pipelines, aligning teams, hosting extra trainings, taking all those late night slacks, and explaining why we've always done it this way is not a strategy. Eventually you just need to put somebody or something in a headlock. James chose the Netherlands as his first stop because apparently Dutch SaaS companies have been especially inefficient lately. He's coming for them first. Glad I'm stateside.
So there you go, folks. You saw me defeat inefficient processes once and for all. Hit him with my infamous finishing move, the bulk import. No one can withstand that. Anyway, who should I fight next?
Here's why this matters. Why should you care? We just spent 4 stories for Mount Rushmore talking about AI doing everything, but RevOps, still very much a human sport. You can't automate relationship building between sales and marketing. You can't AI your way through a pricing strategy crisis, and human in the loop, well, the loop is AI or automation. James is the human inside of it. Human in the ring, actually. Preferably ones, by the way, who can deliver a flying elbow. Those are the humans you want in your loop or in your ring. The Revenue Wranglers World Tour is just getting started. Amsterdam this week, Berlin next month, eventually San Francisco. And when he arrives at your company's headquarters, you better hope your processes are in order, because this man will suplex your QBR. Yeah. Humans first, AI second. It's just the natural order of things for a couple more months at least, right? Anyway, the Revenue Wrangler is coming. Speaking of things that kick ass, we'll be right back after this short commercial break from the funniest sales influencer named Chris, currently employed at Super in the world.
Mum, I'm going out, okay? Where are you going? Just a sales call with my friends.
Well, how long will you be?
Maybe like an hour. They're bringing a few people.
Okay, well, take your CRM with you.
Do I have to?
Yes, you know your CRM loves sales calls.
He's just so embarrassing.
I'm not.
Yes, you are. You ask stupid questions and you just get in the way.
Don't say that. He's your CRM and it's important that you're nice to him.
Please, Mum, I'll only be an hour and I'll play with him when I get back.
No, I don't want you going to any sales calls without him there. Either you take him or you don't go at all.
Fine, he can come, but don't be annoying.
Yeah, of course.
Come on.
So who are we meeting? Do they have budget? When do you think they're going to close? Who's the decision maker? Who's the champion? What's the next step?
Welcome back to SaaSCntr. I'm your host, Rob Jones. That's my real name. Wow, they got it right. We have a special treat for you today. The world's first and only B2B children's book RevOps author, Rashida Goryawala, is here from an undisclosed location for an interview about her recent bestseller. Rashida, you are our best guest. Rashida, tell these people who the heck you are.
I'm a huge HubSpot fan, which brought me into the world of RevOps. And right now I'm a lead RevOps strategist at Rev Partners. And what that means is I work with a group of strategists who implement best practices into your HubSpot, make sure that we are aligning on the data model. You're able to not only use HubSpot for your day-to-day, but also report on it to make sense of where your business is at so that you can grow and scale. It's always so hard to explain what RevOps is if you're not in that space and if you don't know what a a CRM is, you don't know what implementation is, things like that. I have never been able to define this for any of my friends and family. So I thought, let me at least change this for the future generation and come up with a RevOps book so that at least my kid understands all the jargon that I use in meetings all day.
And you, I believe, have the book with you. Part of the reason people are trying to break in is what it sounds like in the background and steal a couple copies. It was a B2B RevOps children's bestseller on Amazon, I believe, yes?
It is an Amazon bestseller, yes. It is a Rev Partners bestseller, to be honest, but yeah, hopefully someday. But here you get a sneak peek of it if you'd like.
Just beautiful. And there it is, the hard copy. The book is If You Give a CEO a Sales Pipeline, and it's written so that even I could understand it. I believe her son, who's 5, has already memorized the entirety of the book. My question is, why write a RevOps children's book in the first place?
Well, there could be many reasons, but I know we were joking about this in our team Slack, that there's this book, if you give a mouse a cookie, and we were just talking about like our childhood memories and things like that and how much we could relate to it in our work today. And I was like, this is perfect. This is exactly what we do. This is exactly how a lot of businesses fall into, or start thinking about RevOps, but they don't really strategically think about RevOps. So we were like, I think this would be a great Christmas gift for all of our current partners. And I brought this to leadership, and I think they all just loved it. And of course, Igor, my colleague here at Rev Partners, he did a fantastic job with the graphics and the images and all of that. It's just such a cute little boy who's a CEO and, going through all of the phases of dashboards and life cycle stages and lead scoring. It was just, I think it was perfect.
I mean, that is unbelievably noble of you. A difficult undertaking, I'm sure. Talking to the layman or laywoman it's not easy. I've been there. But I have it on relatively good authority. Not only have you done this, there's a rumor you're already working on your second RevOps book for children. This one geared slightly more towards marketing. Is this true?
Yes, absolutely. That's the one about KPIs and numbers and more relatable for the market. And it talks about all of the marketing struggles, attribution, what to do with these leads, how do you hand it off to sales? Because I think the number one struggle that all of organizations face is marketing has their own KPI, sales has their own. They're never on the same page. They're sometimes even in different software. So how does marketing get budget approved? How do they say that, hey, this is how we help the business? It's kind of a book about all of that.
Rashida, you are doing such good work. Truly you are. I wish I could say the same about myself, but we're almost out of time for today. Rashida, thank you again so much for being here. Congrats on the success of the book. As we go, is there any advice you'd give to our audience on, just how to be more like you, how to increase our awesomeness factor?
I think stay curious is definitely the number one thing. The reason this book even exists is because I want my kid to stay curious and learn about the other possibilities in life. Engineers, doctors, we have a lot of them. We probably need more in this world, of course, but the world will not stop talking about those basic revenue streams, career streams. But I think we need more people to think about, okay, where else can you drive more good into the world? And, how can you kind of multiply your talent? So yeah, stay curious, learn more about RevOps. It's definitely going to help you. Even if you don't have a business and not in life, it'll help you in life, basically, for organizing and thinking through process from start to finish.
Rashida, I miss you. Thank you again for this interview. And you should go and look for, by the way, our audience, you should go and look for If You Give a CEO a Sales Pipeline now while supplies last. And give old Brendan Tollison a DM on LinkedIn. Tell him to print off more copies because he's going to run out. Rashida, you stay safe out there, and I'll make sure to stay curious. Our next story, we're going to roll a lot of this for you because it's one of my favorite things I've ever seen. Neil Welsh, CEO of Silverback Strategies, just did something no CEO has ever done. He told the truth in public, on video. And by God, we're here to celebrate it.
I f***ed up. The performance marketing industry as a whole f***ed up. For the last 20 years, we've let Google, Meta, and in some cases, even Bing, take credit for sales they didn't drive. So many great American companies have invested millions in building a brand. Then someone searches their name, clicks on an ad, fills out a form, and we say, "You're welcome." 80% of marketers still use last click attribution to measure media effectiveness. Let me be clear. This is wrong. We were wrong. And Silverback is deeply, deeply sorry for the role that we've played in driving last click addiction in the marketing industry. We will do better. Thank you.
Neil confessed that Google, Meta, even Bing, who knew, have been taking credit for sales they didn't drive for 2 decades. That's right, last touch attribution, model that says whoever got the final click gets the credit, like a game of tag, is a scam. And agencies like his, they've been selling it to clients like it's gospel. Neil spent $20,000 in 2 days in a sad hotel to prove it's all garbage. And you know what? We're here for it, Neil. Finally, someone in marketing said the quiet part out loud. Now, he's not the first. But his voice definitely matters. Your Meta ad didn't generate that deal. Your rep had 7 calls. Your content team wrote 14 nurture emails. Your product had a killer demo, but Facebook clicked boost post and took a victory lap. Neil's ending this. Last touch attribution is like, well, it's like giving your CRM credit for closing deals because it stored the contact info. It's insane. Look, we managed 10 million in revenue. No, your reps managed it. The video ends with a call to action, lastclickaddiction.com. Go there, be safe. Haven't tested it out myself. Neil built a free site to help marketers break free from the addiction to bad data. And the fact that last touch is just not all the way there. Daniel Kahneman showed that humans attribute success to the most visible factor, not the actual calls. Ad platforms are loud, sales calls are quiet. And years of hearing brand familiarity, by the way, Neil, brand is the next frontier. They add up. Neil Welsh just did what every marketer wanted to do, but was too scared. He told the truth. He apologized and built a solution. This is leadership. This is accountability. This is someone saying, just because somebody typed your name into Google doesn't mean it was Google as the key driving factor for the revenue. It sucks. As a marketer, I'm glad someone spoke up. Go to lastclickaddiction.com, forward it to your CMO. Neil Welsh is a hero. We need more Neils out there. I'm actually going to go check it out right now. And we'll be right back with a massive valuation from an AI company and our second guest of the day. We've got another freaking guest. BSCN is growing. Right back after this quick message from our sponsors.
If destiny cold called you, would you answer me? What is a circle? It is complete. It is infinite. It is perfect. What is back? It is return. It is promise.
I don't chase deals. They orbit me.
Alignment. Synergy. Optimization. Powered by A and I. Circle Back. The fragrance of following up by Supered.
Welcome back to SaaSCntr. I'm your host, Rob Jones. Let's just stick with the real name. The ruse is over at this point. Cursor just raised $2.3 billion at a $29.3 billion valuation. Their product, AI that writes code for developers. Thought we already had that. The hell's Lovable? So what are developers even for anymore? Cursor raised $2.3 billion. Valuation's $29.3. That's more than Spotify, more than Reddit, more than companies that actually make things, more than the GDP of most countries. And what does Cursor do? It writes code so developers don't have to. Let's sit with that for a second. Developers, the people who build software, are now using AI to build software for them. They've automated themselves. Isn't this the thing they've been trying to do all along? Get out of work? It's like watching a chef hire a robot to cook while they just taste test and say, needs more salt. Except the robot is Cursor and the salt is, I don't know, Python libraries or Elixir, something. I'm not a developer. CNBC reports Cursor is one of a few AI startups valued over $10 billion, and I get it, honestly. Developers are expensive. A senior dev costs $200K per year, more than that even, depending on where you live. Geo-based hiring is weird. Cursor costs just $20 a month. You can replace 5 junior devs with 1 senior dev, plus Cursor, the CFO does a happy dance. Something in here, the hitch, 2-step. The math isn't just good, it's inevitable. But here's the existential crisis nobody's talking enough about. What are developers for now? If AI writes the code, debugs the code, reviews the code, edits the code, ships the code, developers are just referees. They're not creators, they're babysitters. It's the second babysitter reference.
Wow, Rob, that was bad.
We need Cursor to hire a writer for this damn show. Good job, Cursor. Very nice function. Gold star. That's not engineering, though. That's management. And doing it to an AI is great. You've got my buy-in. If you think this stops at developers, you're delusional, by the way. If the people who build the automation tools are automating themselves, what do you think happens to sales, marketing, and customer success? Your Cursor is coming. It's not if, it's when. And we've already seen that with the AI SDR story earlier. And when it arrives, your job won't disappear. It'll just be boring. Boring as hell. You'll manage AI instead of doing actual work. Again, if you tuned in about 10 minutes ago, you heard that from Jason Limkin's AI SDR review over 6 months. The good news, Cursor works great. Developers love it. It's fast, accurate, saves time. Bad news, saves time is executive speak for reduces headcount. So if you're not learning to work with AI right now, you're learning how to work without a job. I feel like if you're going to take anything away from AI, it's learn to at least be inclusive, experiment a little.
BSTN.
Speaking of that and valuations, our next guest looks like $1 million, is worth 10x that. He is the managing director at BD Emerson and my new best friend, Drew Danner. Drew, you're a man with an insane amount of experience. Your LinkedIn banner has more badges than an Eagle Scout. It's very impressive. One of the acronyms, though, caught my eye. PIMP. How is it being a pimp in 2025?
You know, I think the PMP is an interesting certification. I think if I'm considered a pimp, I'm the only one I'm pimping out at this point. So it's a fun cert to have.
Yes, looks like I read that wrong. Technical difficulties. I guess there is no I in pimp. There is an I in team. So it's not what I was talking about. I apologize for that. PMP. What does that actually mean?
It's a project management professional. It was one of those things the government told me I had to have a DAIWAA something cert. It's like a cert to show that you can manage people, or I could get the civilian equivalent, which was a PMP, and I had 30 days if I wanted to stay on my billet. So that's why I have it. But it's pretty sought after. People like that cert.
Well, I mean, I got to give you credit. Both of those responses were smoother than 50 Cent. I don't think there's many men who could have done that. And we'll move on to the next question. Apparently, even with the most advanced technological measures and security, measures in security like SOC 2, there are still some things that SOC 2 cannot prevent. Can you tell us briefly about your recent internal security breach where your own gallbladder tried to kill you?
First, I'll tell you, compliance is not security. So SOC 2 is compliance. It's showing that you meet certain controls. Some of those could be security controls, but almost dying. Yeah, I thought I had food poisoning about a month ago, and it turns out I didn't. What I learned was no matter what you do in life, this is from the surgeon, men can suffer from gallstones and have no symptoms. So apparently I had gallstones for who knows how long. One occluded a duct, no blood flow, no oxygen. I had an organ fail, die, become gangrenous. I had sepsis, again, thought it was food poisoning. So I told my wife, there's no way I'm going to the hospital for food poisoning. 5 days later, I had a super high fever and felt like I was going to die. And then confirmed at the hospital, yeah, I was pretty close to, I think they used the word expiring, which was a little terrifying. But yeah, emergency surgery. But I feel great. I feel fine.
Let me be the first to say all of us here at BSTN and our friends, your friends at Superd, are very glad that you did not, in fact, die. Apologies for the compliance and security mishap. That's on me. That's why you're here, and that's why I'm in this seat, not knowing shit. Thank you for correcting me and educating me on that one. But you're well. You were just, I guess you were just out of commission for a minute there. You had a brief shutdown. Speaking of shutdowns, the next question you're going to love. The government sucks, apparently. But we do not get political on this show. No, not political. So, not getting political, if a B2B org is like the government, which department or which area would be most likely to have a shutdown and why?
That is an interesting conversation. Honestly, I think sometimes, right, if you think of not just issues in our government, but all governments, a lot of issues stem from a lack of ethics and integrity, right? And when you don't have accountability and there isn't this feedback measure to keep people, meeting the requirements of ethics and integrity, people do dumb things, people do unethical things, and they thrive in unethical things. You think of a big B2B business. Sometimes, if you don't rein it in, sales can get a little crazy, right? We've seen a lot where sales organizations will make commitments to customers and sign giant contracts, and those commitments, they can't make them. Looping it back to security, one of my favorite things that we see on a very regular basis is enterprise companies will go out to the market and say, hey, we just signed this contract with another giant client, and we told them that we would have, our FedRAMP in 60 days. Is that possible? And we were like, no, but we know how you can communicate with your government customers so you can tell them you're in the process. Or, they'll say, hey, we need a ISO 42001 in 30 days. Is that possible? Likely not, but don't make commitments that you can't meet, right? And typically it's getting leadership and legal involved with the sales process, having some sort of review over deals over a certain amount. But yeah, I think there's ever shutdown. It's sales will shut down briefly. That way they can get some ethics and integrity training and kind of continue mission after that.
Marketing escapes unscathed, once again, is my key takeaway from that. Look, if you had to pick something marketing got wrong, what would it be?
Yeah, there are definitely some marketing teams, like product marketing teams, that rely on a little too much puffery. But I like puffery, right? Build Ford tough. What does that mean? Ford tough is not a measurement, so they can say whatever they want.
I have absolutely no idea, but I may add that as a skill for people to endorse on my LinkedIn profile.
You know what mine used to say, and you'll like this, but people were so confused all the time, so I just had to take it out. My LinkedIn title used to say, expert, professional, self-proclaimed astronaut. But people were like, you're an astronaut? No, I'm a self-proclaimed astronaut. I'm saying that I'm an astronaut. It doesn't make me an astronaut. I'm being facetious. I'm joking them.
Look, it's 2025, Drew. Of all the things that are allegedly dead, you not being one of them, thankfully, being facetious is absolutely top of that list as being dead. A moment of silence, if you will.
Oh, that's so dead. Yeah, you can't.
Switching gears, as somebody who has a lot of experience with CISOs, do you think Cisco would be a good one?
Oh, you mean Drew Hill, the legend? I think Drew understands a lot about risk. He took a lot of risks early in his career, and then he left the brand of Cisco and went back to making music as Drew Hill. Sometimes, you don't just change your company's name and your brand. You just lost a lot of recognition. Real fans don't know that Drew Hill's Enter the Dragon is one of the most fun albums ever. They're like, I just know him from that thong song.
Drew, I feel like I've had 21 questions for you, some just a little bit sarcastic, and you just won't back down. You're like a kid in a candy shop, and I appreciate that. Here's the last question. It's about hobbies. I know that you love working out, 80s music, Disney movies with the kiddos, and fishing. What's your favorite thing to try and catch when you're fishing, Drew?
Oh, man, it's always accounts payable. They fall for every attempt. When we're doing training, I will send AP an email from a lookalike domain, right? So I'll go, you look at anything that has an E or an A in it, and you go buy a domain that's a lookalike with a Russian alphabet. So I can buy, super.app or super. .org with the E's or Russian E's. And then I'll send an email to one of your customers, and it'll be @domain or AP or accounts payable or accounting. You send it to all of them. Fake email, fake PDF. It'll link to a SharePoint site. They go to the SharePoint site and it'll say sign in to your Microsoft account. What threat actors do is they use a software called Mamba 2FA, where it looks and feels just like Microsoft, but you're actually authenticating to a threat actor. You've just given them your password and you gave them your MFA token. So now they're in your account and you have no idea. You're like, invoice didn't come up. They close out. They don't even think about it. And then we get a call because they've activated their insurance policy and they need us to help them with incident response. So my favorite thing to catch phishing is definitely accounts payable. I don't know why, but they click on everything.
I got to tell you, I meant phishing with an F, but that was an answer better than I had ever dreamed of getting. Highly informative too, especially if you handle finances or payments. But do you fish?
My daughter and I have a canoe. I live on a lake, and we'll go out, and we not only do we not fish, one of her favorite things to do is we try to catch the big birds on the lake. Like we have a crane that looks like a dinosaur that terrifies me. And my 7-year-old is convinced that we will capture this big bird and it will live with us one day. So I think one day fishing, I'm going to have it's either a blue heron or a crane, or it's monstrous. So I'm going to catch that. That's the goal.
You catch your crane, Drew Danner. Hell, I felt like having you here was like catching a whale. A devilishly good-looking, almost recently deceased, multi-certification wielding whale. It's been a pleasure, Drew. Stay healthy out there and stay safe.
Perfect. Good seeing you.
I need to go send a Slack message to our finance team, accounts payable, about something I may have catastrophically messed up recently, but we'll be right back with some news on LinkedIn video after this first ever B2B content creator cribs preview. Check it out. Yep, this is the old Studiotron 3000. The wife hates it because this was a dining room. Got the Super logo, very awesome. If you're a fan of BSTN, this, ladies and gentlemen, this is where the magic happens.
Where the magic happens.
I like this because it doesn't matter where, and with some video editing magic, let's set this up. Oh, where am I now? I'm in a jungle. Oh, tigers. Whoa. And if you snap, where am I now?
Ooh, I'm on the Arctic tundra. I'm on a glacier. Ooh, it's cold.
This is just green screen effect. Obviously got the wigs. Wore this one recently when I got to sing with Nick Lachey for Guru. Shout out to my boy Jay Schwedelson. Let's not talk about that one. All right, let's go on to the next. Welcome back to SaaSCntr. I'm your host, Algorithm. Let's talk about LinkedIn's video reach, or more accurately, the lack thereof. Let's talk about how LinkedIn is murdering video reach and is now selling you the antidote. I, personally, have 11,000 followers. My most recent video, 184 views. 184. Does my content suck? Maybe. That's not a reach problem. That's algorithmic assassination. It's not just me, though. I mean, if it were just me, no one would care. Check out these numbers from our friend Jeff Hatton. He's been doing a recent experiment. YouTube, 10,000 views with 23 subscribers. Instagram, 2,332 views with 9 followers. TikTok, 2,036 views with 8 followers. LinkedIn, 415 views with 10,771 followers. Which of these things is not like the other? LinkedIn sucks.
Yeah, the LinkedIn algorithm sucks. That's why you should like this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Richard Vanderblom, LinkedIn analytics expert, just published research showing video research has absolutely collapsed across the platform. Aaron Eckstein posted data showing his numbers are down 70%. Creators everywhere are screaming into the void. Where'd our audience go? And LinkedIn's response, have you tried boosting your video? Only $100, only $50, only whatever you'll give us to reach the people who already freaking follow you. Let me spell this out. LinkedIn changes the algorithm all the time, but I think it was changed most recently to suppress organic video reach. Then they launched a boost video feature to solve the problem they created. This isn't innovation. This is racketeering. Nice video you got there. Be a shame if no one saw it. Maybe you should pay us money. And the audacity of LinkedIn to pretend this isn't happening. You see some people that swear by video. I just don't see it. LinkedIn's pushing video creation tools, video analytics. They've recently claimed they're all in on video upload features, create more video. Meanwhile, they're hiding your videos. They took away the video bar at the bottom unless you pay for it. That's like a gym selling memberships and locking the weights behind a paywall. Here's what's really happening. I think LinkedIn is monetizing creators. They spent years saying, build your audience, post content, grow your brand, and allowing us to do it. For that, we thank you. And now that you have an audience, 11,000 followers, 15,000, 8,000, 2,000, any, LinkedIn owns them. You're just renting the access, and the rent just went up. Vanderblom's article calls this a crossroads moment for LinkedIn. He's being polite. This is a freaking betrayal. Creators invested years, months, time, depending on who you are, building audiences and trusting the platform, and LinkedIn just flipped the switch. So here's my message to LinkedIn. We know what you did last summer to the algo, or this summer. We know what you did. And we're telling everybody, but it's not like they'll see it. Because ironically, this is the only thing that performs worse than video on LinkedIn, live video. We may be back next week. We may start a newsletter, but either way, we'll be thankful because next week is Thanksgiving. So with the last positivity and enthusiasm I can muster, this has been SaaSCntr. I've been your host, Dan Druner. We'll see you next week, algo willing, Thursday at 2 Eastern.
SaaSCntr.